Roll the highlight. Here we go. Comeback of the century. Pacers, Knicks. Game 1 at the Garden. Knicks controlled it most of the night. 8 minutes left. They're up by 12. JWill with Jalen Brunson on the bench with 5 fouls. The Knicks go on a 14-0 run.
Well, Karl-Anthony Towns was having his way offensively with 35 points in this game.
And Josh Hart finding OG Anunoby. The Knicks by 17. Indiana creeping back. It's a 7-point game. But when Jalen Brunson puts in this bucket here, he would finish with 43. Monica, it's a 9-point advantage with less than a minute to play.
Well, based on who the Indiana Pacers are and have been in this postseason, not time to celebrate just yet.
No, because they had a guy named Aaron Nesmith. And Allen, he had a night for the ages.
This guy shoots 53% from 3. You should not be going under the screen protecting a lead.
He had 6 threes in the fourth quarter last night. Pacers cut the lead to 5 with that one. Now, critical moment here with the Knicks. Rick Carlisle has done a great job of maintaining his challenge. He challenges and wins there on a foul on Siakam. It's overturned, so the Pacers get it back. Down by 5, under 30 seconds to go, and it's Aaron Nesmith again. This is the Nesmith game. He had 20 in the fourth quarter, and that sets up this. Pacers down by 2, 7 seconds left. Here's how it sounded on their radio.
Haliburton driving. He's in the lane. He nearly lost it. He backs up and unloads a 3. Oh, that did not happen. It hit the back of the rim. It popped high into the air, and it dropped gently through the net.
That is a perfect description in every way, except it turns out to be a 2. Allen, what do we see on the play?
Watch the ball leave the screen. It's not even in the screen. It's not even in the frame of the shot. That's how high up it went, and as he said, dropped right through. Look at the players. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. The air came out of the building right there. Right there. And Knick fan said, I've seen this movie before, and I don't like this movie.
You see, the toe is on the line, so it is a 2, and instead of a Pacers win, it is overtime, tied at 125, so the drama would continue. Minute and a half left in the OT. Pacers down by 1. Coach, how good was Haliburton last night?
He was spectacular. Every shot that needed to be made, every play that needed to be made, he made the play.
He had 31. Pacers take the lead there. Now they're down 1. Obi Toppin! The former Knick with the putback. Pacers up by 1. 20 seconds to play. Knicks down 1. They're going to throw it away right in front of Timothy Chalamet, of all things. And the Pacers are going to get a
Chalamet, help out there.
They're going to get a timeout call. The call is reversed. It's Rick Carlisle had a very good night in a lot of different ways. And then it's the former Knick Toppin again. A lot of contact, no call. Pacers a 3-point lead. 138-135. We have 12 seconds left in the overtime. Monica, where do the Knicks go when they need 3?
You're obviously going to go to Jalen Brunson. He leads the postseason with clutch scoring. I think he had 43 points going into last night's game.
He did. He had 43 last night, but that one's not even close. But then they're going to get a great look. Karl-Anthony Towns.
One, Greeny, that's the one that should have went down. That's his shot.
It's no good, and then the scramble underneath, and that's how it ends. The Pacers win a miracle. Haliburton after.
I'm like, it's going in. You know, it just felt like it got stuck up there, though, you know? And honestly, when it, went in, I thought my eyes might have been deceiving me in the moment. But it felt good when it left my hand. If I would have known it was a 2, I would not have done it. So I think I might have wasted it. If I do it again, then people might say I'm like aura farming. So I'm not, I don't plan on using it again.
Okay, so the word is unprecedented. We have been keeping track of this since 1998. Teams that trailed by 9 or more points in the final minute or fourth quarter of overtime in a playoff game were 0-1,414 going into last night.
That's a typo. That's got to be a typo.
It is quite literally something that had not been done at minimum in this century and quite possibly never before. We just don't have statistics that go that far back, Jay.
So statistically, that's the worst home loss in New York Knicks history, and it's the biggest choke job in NBA playoff history. Just based off the statistics, right?
It's like that is one way to look at it. Yes.
New York had it, MSG had it, and then they fumbled it, and then Indiana literally came into Madison Square Garden, an iconic venue, and grabbed the mic and told New York to shut up. That's what happened last night. I mean, that's how incredible of a game it was last night. And I know we're going to talk about New York, but all hats off to the Indiana Pacers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's one of the greatest games I've ever seen. cheers to the Indiana Pacers for making that comeback.
Well, what they do. Nobody should be surprised by that. It's what they do. The Knicks were looking in the mirror. The Knicks were the team that had some closings in this series, to close out games. And sorry, JB, but one of them obviously in Detroit is unforgettable. But that's who they were. But they weren't used to it being done to them. And so it was a stunning move, but it should not be surprising because that's what Indiana has been doing.
Look, this is going to be the Aaron Nesmith game.
Absolutely.
Until the end of time.
Are you kidding me?
Haliburton makes this shot, and this is the one that will be remembered because of the dramatic nature and the premature choke job and all that sort of stuff. But the reality is that this moment doesn't happen, Monica, if Aaron Nesmith doesn't have one of the genuinely insane fourth quarters that any player has ever had in the history of the NBA playoffs.
He hit 6 threes in that fourth quarter, Greeny, and a couple of them were decently defended, and he still knocks them down cash, not even hitting the rim. Like, the energy in this ball game. One of my keys in this one coming into it was actually the wing play. Because of Nesmith and Nembhard, I don't think they get the credit that they deserve, and what it would look like for the Knicks wings to begin to stifle those guys. Both of those guys, Nesmith in particular, he's been in double figures in 8 of his last 9 games. He's very comfortable in the postseason, and he stepped up big.
Yeah, when you study the Pacers team, you understand that those two role players, they're a big part of what they do and what make them successful. Everybody wants to talk about Turner, Siakam, and obviously what Haliburton has done. But what separates this group from the rest of the league is they have 2 stars in their role that are two-way players. They defend and they make shots.
I was a part of the Pacers-Bucks series, and Rick Carlisle said straight up, the reason that Indiana got out to the slow start they did on the season at large was because Andrew Nembhard was not healthy. And once he got healthy, look at the calendar, January, the defense fell into place, the offense fell into place, and this is what you get.
Nesmith went Klay Thompson. Like, he just had one of these moments where, and I'm situated where I am at the Garden, right by the visitors' bench, and the perspective that I had was being able to see him constantly turning to his bench. And as the players got up to celebrate, each made 3, his eyes were so wide, as if like, I'm on one. Like, he knew he was on one. And they were smart. They were finding him every time. And for some reason, the Knicks kept going under screens. That time, Hart slipped. That was the one that cut it to a 2-point game. That's the one that I think that you see there. This one right here is when, you always believe. But that's the one that's like, not just we believe we can come back. It was, we're going to win this game. That was the difference maker with that shot there.
Maybe Greg Popovich used to always talk to me about who are you when you get tired, right? And I think down the stretch, considering that the Knicks have a shorter rotation, 7 players that play the majority of their minutes, there's a cumulative effect that goes into that game. And when you look at a lot of those Naismith threes, a lot of those are just miscues where defensively the Knicks are standing up. Like, there's not a sense of urgency about being down in the stance, and it's just attention to detail down the stretch. That's what ultimately was the Achilles heel.
Well, when you take a look at it, there were so many small things to your point. We talk about pickup point, right? When you're in a game and you have a lead, you want to protect the 3-point line. Go back and watch the clip. How many times guys were below the 3-point line and allowed guys to get into their shot? Or, like you said, they went under screens. At that point in time, you'd much rather give up a 2 than give up a 3. So going under puts you already in a disadvantaged situation.
And by the way, for a specialist, Jalen Brunson was in the game. When you have 5 fouls, I mean, that's also
huge part
something
of
that the offense can then attack, because now defensively,
he doesn't want to foul.
Yeah, and he has to stay in the game because he is the best clutch time player in the playoffs. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's Tyrese Haliburton.
Here you go.
I don't know, but they're right there. They're right there. That's why this matchup is so great.
We have sat here on a couple of different mornings during this postseason talking about the Knicks doing this exactly to the Celtics, or almost this, because again, this was a comeback quite literally the likes of which we'd never seen before. And in all of those mornings, I remember saying, for the Knicks to come back in this game, they couldn't do that without help. You can't come back from this deficit without the team that is in front.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.